Dnipro was one of the many cities across Ukraine which was hit. We've travelled from Sloviansk, that was also hit overnight. There's a massive crater here. Let me take you a bit closer so that you can see the size of it. And this is right in the middle of a residential area. In the background of the crater, there's a half-built the residential flats and what appears to be possibly a shopping area. Of course, they wouldn't have known when that was hit how that it was unoccupied at the time. There's a truck coming in to try and clear up some of the mess here. There was also a bus here that was just passing by because the time of day was right in the middle of the rush hour, and luckily, miraculously, no one was hurt in the bus. We understand that although there were 3 hits in Dnipro, again, miraculously, only 3 people were actually killed. This seems to be a trademark of all the attacks today, is that they were hitting where there were multiple civilians in the area. This is the block of several blocks of residential flats. Many of them, we've been watching them clearing out their broken windows, and they've been affected by just the impact of that big crater. But a lot of the people we've been talking to, not just angry, not just saddened by this, but also their resolve about the whole purpose of defending themselves against Putin's war has almost been strengthened by these multiple attacks. A lot of them talking about how they want the rest of the world to stop making excuses for Vladimir Putin and to declare Russia a terrorist state. And a lot of people sort of almost reeling from this volley and barrage of attacks across a number of different cities. Clearly the first time in the capital, Kyiv, that for many months that they've had the heart of the war brought right to their doorstep. And very markedly, on the Donbass battlefield from where we've just come, the Russians and the Russian troops are retreating at such a fast pace, and many villages and communities and towns are being liberated on a daily basis. There's a lot of feeling there that very markedly there hasn't been big attacks in that area because they're very much on the run backwards, and the Ukrainians are on the march in that area, and possibly because of all these battlefield successes on behalf of the Ukrainians, plus the attack on the bridge in Crimea, the Russians, and particularly Vladimir Putin, is feeling so threatened, so embarrassed by all the Ukrainian battlefield successes that he's hitting out in any way he can by showing to his domestic audience that he's not going to be cowed by all these failures on the battlefield.